and no old suck the life out of me. No, I'm not doing it.
Why?
You want to hoe around in your 20s and your 30s. Now you're 50 and you single because you was hoeing around all around town, community day. And now you want to get somebody that's younger because they less used. You're used. So you're used up and you want somebody less used up. No, go ahead and get your match. They be out here, they be having several baby mothers, several kids, but want a girl with no kids. No, get your match.
Why?
You want
And this is the part that gets me. He's like, why? Look at him. How old do you think he is? He's every bit of 40 something at least, right? And this young woman is on the couch saying, I'm not going to let an old man F the life out of me or suck the life out of me. And he's like, why? Why would a person not want to have the life sucked or effed out of them? Come on. And she's telling you right there why, and he's still in denial. The crazy part about it is that they see, grown, mature women like me and or you out there, because my audience is skews upwards. They see us out there and they act like we don't know what it's like to be a young lady in our 20s. I remember what it is that I thought of men who were even in their 30s when I was in my 20s. I know how grotesque I thought it was. So it's like, if your whole mating strategy is to find a young woman who is dumb, desperate, or disempowered enough to have to give you a chance, I mean, this is what many of these men want. This is how the whole Passport Bros movement was born. You women here want too much. You're not willing to be my unending, unpaid slave. Let me go across and overseas and find a woman who doesn't have as much as you do, who doesn't have the privileges that you do, and let me be able to give her the bare minimum. I still remember when those girls were coming out telling us that we need to mind our business. And I'm like, oh, go ahead. I want that for you. Go ahead. If this is what, like, you're not going to listen to the people who have the experience in the situation, go ahead for it. Go ahead. So he's like, why? Why don't you? And she's like, go find your match.
You want to hoe around in your 20s and your 30s. Now you're 50 and you single because you was hoeing around all around town, community day. And now you want to get somebody that's younger because they less used. You're used.
And look at his face. He's like, I never considered this before. Look at his face. He looked horrified. These are the people who are supposed to be leaders. Where are you leading anyone? You didn't even have the foresight enough to realize that these young women who have choices and options and are not enslaved, that they're not willingly going to come along and try to be, quote unquote, yours. Young people like other young people. Tight skin looks best on everyone. Over the age of 35, when that testosterone plummets, the muscles don't be muscling like they used to. And I'm talking about all muscles, pun intended, boy. Pun intended, bye. If you catch my drift, you know what I'm talking about. It's not like it was when you were 20. This is why you've got to cultivate yourself as a human being.
So you're used up and you want somebody less used up. No, go ahead and get your match.
Yeah, so it's like, this is why you have to cultivate yourself as a human being so that you have more to offer than a deteriorating commodity. Youth is a commodity that we are all born with. And we exchange that for wisdom, experiences, life lessons. But far too many men are like, we don't care about that stuff. All we care about is the one thing that you had no hand in. Your DNA, that's all we care about. Youth, it's fleeting. But what happens after the youth? And the crazy part about it is, now that I'm becoming older, I mean, this is part of the reason that I'm doing the Renew conference next year, why I'm working on creating a retreat next year, is because as I'm getting older and I'm thinking about, quote unquote, legacy, I'm thinking about what type of mark I want to leave on this world. How many people can I help? In how many different ways can I be of service to the earth? So it's like, as they get older, instead of thinking about ways in which they can give back to the earth, they're thinking about ways to plunder, how to plunder the youth from young people, how to use them for their resources and use her for her youth and her ignorance and naivete. Instead of thinking about ways in which they can protect the youth, they're looking for ways to go shopping among them, how to pick who it is that they want, the naivest of them all, the prettiest, the youthfulness of them all. Meanwhile, we have all of these incels out here. Do these men care about the young men who have no women? They don't care because they're 50, 60, 40, 30 shopping from the bunch of 20-something-year-old girls. So who are the 20-something-year-old men supposed to date? Are they supposed to just go to the 16-year-olds? And thus the cycle of abuse continues. This is ridiculous. Look at his face. Why? Why don't you want to have the life effed out of you? It's ridiculous.
Be a part of the live show with thousands of other viewers. Go to TonyaTko.com/text and join the text notification squad and get a text whenever I go live. Support the show and yourself, and I'll see you on the next live broadcast.